Hello everybody, welcome back to another Dark and Darker video. Today we are checking out the Goblin Caves new updates. The Goblin Caves has a bunch of new map layouts now. And basically what they have done is they have taken some of the pieces from the old High Roller Goblin Caves map, and they have put that together. And they've taken pieces from the old regular Goblin Caves map, and they put that together. And they've just sorted them in different ways. Now, if you didn't know, they have been looking into procedural generation. We don't know if that's actually ever going to come or not, if that's something they really want to do still or not. But basically, these blocks of the map have been put together so that if they ever do decide to procedurally generate the maps in the future, they can just kind of put them together like Legos with procedural generation, and they're kind of like Lego blocks. So that's kind of what they've done already here. And so there's a whole new layout of all of this stuff, and it is quite a bit harder, I'd have to say, especially with some of the High Roller Goblin Caves pieces. Those are a lot harder because they have a lot higher mob density. However, they have increased the amount of portals on the map, and there's even a couple map layouts that have 2 static exits on the map. So there can be more portals on the map than there are players that enter in the first place, because I also lowered the player count. Now, right there, a warlock tried to attack me, and this guy is leader of Timmy's squad 6 again, doesn't know how to play the game, doesn't know his range, and he also doesn't know that you really don't want to fight clerics in Goblin Caves because a solo cleric has a lot of health, and when you're both at very low gear and your DPS is very low, a cleric is incredibly strong. So I just run him down here and bop him in the head. Now, do keep in mind that cleric is super slow, so if he wanted to run away, he could have, but he thought he could take me, and that's what leads to everyone's death in this. Now, I didn't get any loot from him, sadly, so we're just gonna keep going. So yeah, back to the new Goblin Caves map. There's also quite a bit more loot on certain maps if you know where to go. The High Roller map has some very good spots to go for loot, where there's a lot of pots or like a lot of boxes to break and things like that. And so I think once people optimize this, Goblin Caves are going to be the new best moneymaker for solo players. Like, obviously, High Roller is still going to be better gold per hour with a good team than Goblin Caves is. But I don't think most people are even good enough to consistently get out of High Roller crypts. So Goblin Caves is going to be the new de facto moneymaker, and because you get so much actual just straight gold from this, and there isn't as much gold in the game anymore, then this is going to be really good. And if you're wondering why there isn't as much gold in the game anymore, that is because people keep spending it at the traders, because the traders have really good items for that gold. This means less gold stays in circulation because it gets taken away every single time someone trades with that trader in return for a good item instead. So in the trading chats, your items are almost certainly going to be worth significantly less gold. And I think we're going to see a lot of people that just decide, hey, I'm not going to use the trade chats anymore. Why would I? How about I just trade with the traders? This really seems to be the solution that they have for those people who are like, remove trading, remove trading. Because they just didn't like spending time trading. Nowadays, they can just go ahead, go to the weaponsmith, go to the armorer, and go see if they have any good items with good rolls, and they can buy that stuff immediately. It takes basically no time at all. It's really quick. So if you don't like trading, you don't really have to anymore. It's not a necessity other than for the highest levels of gameplay. If you want to collect a whole bunch of legendary items or kit out like a full purple kit with the right rolls, then you're going to need to use the trade chat. But until then, it's pretty unnecessary now, which I think is a good change. You know, let people do what they want to do. It might need some tweaking in terms of how much the items cost in there, but we'll have to see. And right now, I'm not getting so much loot out of this run, but you can already see at the top right that a portal has already spawned. So we're already seeing portals spawning. And it is just really easy to get out on this map. I'm also sitting right next to the static escape, so if I sit here long enough, then that would open eventually. And there's another one spawning below down there, so there's just all sorts of portals spawning on this map. And it is really, really easy to escape on this one, unless you get one of those spawns and one of those High Roller blocks from the old High Roller map that has like 30 enemies in the first room. It's kind of absurd how hard those blocks are, and then you'll only get that like 5% of the time. The other 95% of the time, it's super easy. But if you get those high roller blocks, you're pretty much just screwed right off the bat unless you're a super, super good player. I think they're probably going to need to work this out a little bit, probably lower the portal density, and they might also want to lower the enemy amount in those high roller rooms. I'm not certain what they'll do. Maybe they want Goblin Caves to be easy. We'll have to see, but it's quite easy to farm money out of here and then just buy blue items from the shop or even purple items. They sell purple items for 200 gold. Used to have to go to the Goblin merchant for those. Right here, I'm smacking this ranger, and there's quite a few people I'm hearing around me, and I'm thinking, okay, I could definitely take them. I am on Cleric, and I will beat them up. And I get hit with a fireball there. Now, they did nerf fireball, and this guy also hit me with ice bolt. He didn't actually hit that, and he's trying to use magic missiles. Magic missiles is really, really bad for PvP, guys. I would highly not recommend it unless you are super, super geared up. Now, this guy wants to team with me, and that guy was already teaming with someone, and we immediately become best friends, and he runs straight into battle. And I give him a shield here, and I am going to heal him here, and he is going to beat them up. I've got him here. That's my last heal, so I can't really help him much more than that, but let's get him, buddy. He's using his second wind. I think he realized that I was out of heals. We didn't even have to communicate at all or anything, and he just fully understands me. This is my favorite part about the Goblin Caves. Just random teaming, and this was random team versus random team. We're each gonna loot a body. I want to loot the Cleric over here because he's a Cleric and I'm a Cleric, and he's gonna loot the Wizard. There is no fighter, so he'll get what he gets. And I think we're both fairly happy with the outcome of that situation. We got 2 kills there between us, and we're getting some loot. Really good time. And I'm just gonna pick up this ancient scroll here. I do not really worry about getting full loot density in my backpack before leaving on these runs. I would much rather do 2 runs in 10 minutes than wait the full 10 minutes. My buddy gets out there at the static escape, and I'm going to use this portal, and we just leave. Honestly, one of the best experiences I've had in Goblin Caves. That was really funny. I was about to lose to 2 people against me, but this guy comes in, teams with me, and we beat him up so quickly. I kind of wonder if they had attacked him earlier and he was angry at them. Okay, now we're on to another game, and I believe in this one I am in the same Goblin Caves map as what we had before, and this is like the easiest map, by the way. The high roller blocks are always harder, so this one is just easy, and I already know where all the best loot spots on this one are. I haven't played much high roller Goblin Caves, so I can't say that I'm all the best at that map, but I'll get better at it with those blocks getting interspersed here. Now, this spot on the map here always seems to bug out the Goblin's AI, and they like to run into this corner, or slide into that corner, I want to say. And I'm just going to smack them upside the head because I don't want them attacking me as I go down below. There is a mage below that guards some shelves with some very juicy loot, and that's where I want to go. I'm checking over here to see if it's a bola slinger or an archer, and it is a bola slinger. I don't like the bola slingers because their shots have larger area. They're a little bit tougher to dodge than the archers, and so I'm not going to fight it. I would like the speed shrine or whatever shrine is over there, but it's just not worth it to me. And we have a mummy here, and we're just going to clock him upside the head. And you might see that I'm running Judgment here, and I have run Smite before in the past on Goblin Caves, and I think Judgment is probably better right now, and that's because I think Smite does better against people who are in very high physical damage reduction setups because I don't expect your melee to do damage. Judgment would also do damage to them, and it can do it at a range, but you don't get as many hits in with that, and you probably won't have enough damage to actually kill someone who's got a good 75% physical damage reduction setup on. But right now, we are early wiped. Those setups really don't exist right now because we're too early into the wipe. So I'm just going to go ahead and use Judgment. I'm dragging this mummy here, which is an elite, which is going to take quite a few shots to kill. It's not like I'm in a high roller gear set or anything. And this archer's getting really annoying. That arrow there just bugged out. I think it's just like in the sky there. You can see it there on my right. So it just completely bugged out. Don't know what caused that, but yeah. Also, there are a lot of new bugs after this patch. Particularly, I was trying to play Bard solo crypts, and the game kept crashing. And as far as I can tell, the crashes are caused by playing a song in the lobby. If you play a song in the lobby, it will crash you out of the game. The game itself won't crash. It just brings you back to the lobby, gives you your stuff back, and you are out. And it's really annoying because you'll wait for 3 different queues, and if you don't know this, you are just like sitting here, why can't I get into a game? Very, very annoying. And I loot the shelves here, get some really good loot. Smashing pots are probably the best way to get loot on the Goblin Caves because you can get bangles and other stuff that are worth like 4 gold each. Totally worth picking up, and I would just loot them as quickly as possible, even picking up the 4-slot gold items, grab them, and then leave at the first portal you see and sell that stuff as quickly as possible. That seems to be the best way to earn money now. So I'm just going through smashing all the pots, and I did hear someone next to me there that spawned like towards the mines. I'm not too worried about it. Once again, Cleric is really, really good in solos because he just has so much health. And all these other people I'm going to be running into, they are no kits. They probably don't have much health at all. They might even be on half a health bar by the time I get to them. They're not going to have a good time. And we can see at the top right of my screen there that a Warlock actually ended themselves with their own curse. Yeah, your curses can kill you guys unless you have the perk on that leaves you with 1 HP left, which can be good sometimes, guys. It is a useful perk. I know it looks like it should be really bad, but sometimes it's good. Okay, we're just bopping the death beetles, and basically the best way to dodge these is after they attack, you clock them over the head. If they hit you, you are going to get hit with the next shot, almost guaranteed, because they slow you. They are fairly easy to dodge, though. You just go left and right and only clock them after they've already attacked. Right here, I see a ranger. I am crouching with him, and he shoots this skeleton for me. And his behavior seems a little wonky to me here, but he did shoot the skeleton for me, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. He's probably just a new Timmy, and I'm crouching, and I'm opening his chest here. He's pulling his arrow back at me, even though there's no enemies over there, and he shoots me in the head, and it does barely any damage to me. Why did this guy think this was a good fight for him? Oh, because he can get the first hit. He's not going to have a fun time. That first hit didn't get him anything. He wasn't close enough to actually follow up on it. And he hit me again there. Didn't do any damage to me. It just hit my shield. I put another protection shield on. What are you going to do? Run through that door? Good luck with that. I'm going to clock you over the head a couple times. You're not getting away with this. I would have been perfectly happy to be friendly with that guy, but he shot me in the head. And once again, we have the leader there of Timmy Squad 6. That's what he was, because he was grabbing all these gear items, which are not worth picking up. And my loot now, buddy. You shouldn't have shot me in the head. It wasn't worthwhile. We could have been friends. Just healing up here, looting this big chest. And we get a couple more treasures to sell. My inventory's looking fairly good. I do have a couple of items in there that are for my own uses. I have an Oracle robe, I believe, in there, which I find worthwhile to carry if I don't have a full inventory. These old cloths aren't worth very much. I'm going to toss those. And I can just shift plus right-click to drop those, by the way. I don't have to drag those out. I'm just not used to that yet, and I will get better at that. And here we have some green rugged boots. I'm just going to grab them. Might as well, right? And I'm going to go up here. This area up here that has the spiders is actually really good for loot, and I would highly recommend that you go here. But someone else already looted it before me, sadly. So I'm not going to get that loot. Also, it's interesting how the minimap looks different now. The zone is not red anymore. It is dark, and I think that fits thematically better with the game now. I mean, it is dark and darker. And now I'm kind of just looping back to where I was before. This is the Warlock that ended himself earlier. He did not die to any monsters. He literally just died to casting a spell. And he's got some loot for me. Now, what I should do here is drop that Oracle robe and pick up these items, but I'm just getting tunnel vision on this, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll drop the chalices that are low tier, and I'll just grab this stuff and get out of here. Wasn't the worst looting I've ever done. It wasn't the best looting I've ever done either. By the way, I noticed with Shadow Hoods, when I find a green one now, they will have 2 strength on the white line. So I'm thinking as they are higher ranking now, you will get even better items out of them, like even better item lines on those. And so those get significantly better as they go up in ranking now, whereas before it was just, okay, did you get good rolls? No? Okay, it's not any better than a white one. Doesn't really matter. And I made a couple hundred gold here, and I got a couple items, so pretty good run, and it didn't take me too long. Now, if you guys liked this video and this discussion, subscribe for more. See you guys!